Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. This is our capstone of what I believe is probably a really successful ambassador program that we rolled out. I think city staff and our entire team at the city of Coconut Creek did an amazing job. So I just wanted to say a quick thank you on behalf of myself. I have some other remarks, but I'm going to pass it down to my colleagues. Vice Mayor Welch, I'm going to pass the mic over to you just for some quick remarks.
Be quick, but what I'm going to say is it's like soup. You bring a whole lot of ingredients for a lot of things that make it work, and that's what each one of you have done. Each one of you is more interested in one thing than the other, and put them all together and give the right information in a program like this, and you go out in the community and make the best ambassadors and communicators to your neighbors and your friends. You know, not everybody's going to show up to a commission meeting, but you show up, you give 1 hour of time every month, or pretty much every month, and for that, we are eternally grateful. You can't pay for this stuff when we don't. You do it for free, and that's even better, because you want to be here, and you want to be the communicator. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Thank you. This has been a great.
Who are you? What
I'm Commissioner Jackie Raley. Thank you for keeping me honest. Okay, but I do want to say thank you to the staff, to the residents, to everyone that was involved in the ambassadorship. It really started out as an experiment. We didn't know what to expect, but it has exceeded our expectations. You have exceeded our expectations. And I hope it encourages others to join us, because instead of having just a select few come in here and learn about what the city does, you all, I mean, we've had at least over 100, 200 people here at any one given time. And you multiply that by word of mouth, and it's amazing. And I believe the communication system that we have in place right now is also far exceeds our expectations. So thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for your concern. And it makes our job easier when more people know what we're talking about and what we're doing. And thank you. And thank you, Karen. Thank you, Stan.
Hey, I'm Commissioner John Burry. If you didn't know that, everybody loves me. Listen, it's so important what you guys do in our city. You're our eyes, ears, and mouth. You're the people that go beyond what we can do with our social media, with the five of us. It is so important. We're so grateful that we have such a great community that shows up to these meetings and passes the information. And to be honest with you, it's great having the information come back to us too, because we can see that the system is working. That this program is part of the city that I think represents what a good community does. We give information, we take information, and you guys are such a vital part of that. I can't thank you enough for showing up time after time after time. And I'm going to tell you guys are way smarter than I am on this stuff now, because you guys are involved, you're passing it on, you're getting it back. I totally appreciate everything you guys have been doing, and I tell your neighbors to come to this, bring more people. The more we can do this, the better our community survives and exists and grows.
And piggybacking on what Jackie's saying, it makes it easier for the city and for the commissioners when people are involved. And you come and you get information, you provide feedback. I think Commissioner Brody said it was, sometimes you know more than we do. So it's really nice to have conversations with you and to build our knowledge. And thanks for a great year, and looking forward to seeing what comes in the next hour.
So really, the kickoff of this program was to make people more involved, right? It was to educate our residents to be, that's what the ambassador program is. So we can educate you on fire, on police, on the environment, on the dump, on the turnpike, and you can help with on Facebook or your neighbors just to be educated. Because at the end of the day, the five of us work for you. And you know it's crazy to have such a great program. This is, I think, the least attended of all the ambassador programs. But on that, I gotta say it. So I'm putting a disclaimer. There's an asterisk with what I'm going to say next. So I have 6 people that have not missed an ambassador meeting. 6 people. And the disclaimer next to that is maybe there may be 1 or 2 other people, but it's all based on who signed it. So I'll leave it at that. I'm assigning it, but there's 6 people. And at the end of our program, come up because we got a special inaugural gift for you. David Anderson is not here. Right? You know, you did this one, we're gonna give you a gift, but you're not here for it. So I'll just read the names quickly, because I see a couple people are. Dave Anderson, Chris Anderson, Ron Aronson, Nancy Fry, Ross Greenberg, and Randy Johnson, first three. Next three. So we got half of the perfect attendance club here. We got a little something for you just based on this inaugural program coming. And Roz, thank you, because Roz Greenberg, just raise your hand real quick. Roz is a real good asset, because you can ask her about any county or state resources. She keeps a book on her at all times and just helps some other people, so we
You don't have anything for first attendance?
Yes, I do.
No, but here's what I'll do, because I'm going a little earlier. I got two quick, I mean, we got some bun cakes. There's gonna be definitely some extra, so you take one of those. So he's gonna give you some.
My first one.
How about that?
Well, welcome. It doesn't matter your first one or your all. We want informed residents. It's the most important thing we do. Quick trivia question, because just so everyone knows, I had some like hats knit up, right? Really good hats. I'm gonna ask one trivia question. Karen's gonna ask one, and you can win a hat, right? This is a giveaway. Limited edition. It's good. Becky and Nikki can't answer. Neither of you can. No answering. Okay, because you're gonna know the answer easy. How many square miles is the city of Coconut Creek?
Oh, man. 13.
Uh-oh. You heard what? 13. Come on, Randy. Nancy Fry?
4.78.
Nancy Fry, come and get your special edition Coconut Creek hat. Karen has a perfect attendance and a hat. Karen has another trivia question when we pass it off to her, but briefly, I just want to ask this question to all of you. We're going to have a really open forum, but my question is this. Is there any subjects, right? Any subjects, and feel free to just shout out or raise your hand or something. Is there any subjects you want to hear about next year? Yes, ma'am.
Special needs population.
Special needs population. I think we're right on point with that. So we're recording this and we're taking it up, so don't worry. Yes, sir.
What is this development down at Lyons and Atlantic? It was.
So let me stop you there. If you want to have a conversation about that, come to the meeting at 7 o'clock. I will give everyone a quick disclaimer. The Sunshine Law matters. There's issues that are going to be discussed on this commission, which is why our commission is going to be fielding all these questions. So please stick around at 7, or stick around after and talk to one of us about that. But that's an item that probably will keep us here very late this evening. I agree, but procedurally, we can't necessarily talk about some of that stuff, so I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. Ross.
Okay, I would like to bring to your attention, everyone in this room, some of the things that are information for residents that are in need of help with an issue or advice. I have several things I will give out, and I will talk about it.
Okay, so everyone at the end of the meeting, we have about a half an hour. You can see Roz. Roz is a great resource. Deal.
I'd like to know a little bit more about what's going on with the equestrian community and the things that are going on in that pocket budget while we're back there as well.
I think that's great. Bernadette, we got that one. Thank you for coming in. I can assure you there's fun things on the horizon for protecting our equestrian community. Yes, sir.
Going west on Culpins, from Powell, you have a thing on the side saying every street except Lyons. Lyons is probably the biggest street between on the Powell line and Lyons.
Okay.
You got it for 42nd, you got it for 33rd, with nothing for Lyons.
What do you mean?
A warning.
Oh, a sign. You want a sign?
A warning sign. Lyons is the next line.
We can let FDOT know. We got all staff here. That's a good panel question, because we're gonna, I believe, have one of our traffic engineers who's right there, Mike, sir. So you can ask him a question. Anyone else for this is brainstorming subjects, right? To say, I want to hear about this, because that could be an ambassador program. It could be something we can do some outreach on. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to know how to decide which signs to put up when you put the flag signs up for various events.
Okay.
And how to design it, because when I am driving anywhere and I see the sign, and if I'm not stopped by the sign, it's very difficult to read. The signs are gorgeous. You look at it, it's beautiful. The printing is too small to see when you're driving.
So community outreach is something that's a great topic. That's something that we've all earmarked for an ambassador meeting, but I think Ms. Lopez is here who oversees the sign room. She's listening. Yes, sir.
In regards to young adults getting interview skills and kind of resume building skills, there's that. We have a lot of teenagers that will be graduating and may not be going to college, trying to help them, prepare for that transition.
Gentleman mentioned young adult skills, interview skills, life skills, things of that nature. Just to let you know, Coconut Creek has a foundation that we're in partnership with the Seminole Coconut Creek Casino. It's an educational foundation that our own city manager actually sits on the board of. And there's money every year that's allotted to tutoring and skills. That could be something our city manager, you could ask her afterwards, that could be something we could earmark to provide lessons and workshops on. So thank you for that. And that's something that could be a great a workshop about how the educational foundation be a better neighbor for our city. So I got two more, and then we're going to go with the program. Please.
I'm big enough for that. Call Junior Achievement. We've got it.
You may want to get her card anyway because she's a resource. Yes, sir?
Checking water Puig.
You sound like Mark Hogan. I like it. There's a lot of stuff going on in Broward County right now that you're going to see results rolling out on the purity of testing of water. And is Osama here? I don't see Osama. But yes, that could definitely be a subject. Yes.
Animals that are left in cages 24 hours a day through storms, through 4th of July, for New Year's, I think that we need to change that.
Okay, well, there's ordinances we're going to, I'm agreeing with you. And yes, sir.
A few years ago, the then City Commission examined the possibility of bringing the senior games to the Coconut Creek and Margate area. It's been maybe 5 years ago. It's time to look at it again and maybe bring more people into the area for all these different sports events in the region here.
So I can tell you something that we've talked about as a commission is having a special events open forum to see what people want. Because listen, we do a lot of things in the city. Some people know about them, some people don't. But we want to bring those special events in that you want. So, Susan, I'm going to, last one, go.
Solid waste reduction.
We had a solid waste workshop, you know that, but I agree with you hands down. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hand it over to our city manager. She's going to introduce our panelists. We're going to all be here afterwards. The people that are here, I just want to thank you on behalf of the city of Coconut Creek. Thank you for being here. Madam Rose.
Thank you, Mayor.
You got one more trivia question.
Yes, I'd like to lead off with another trivia
Yes.
question. Okay. So, does anybody know how many mayors we have had since the inception of Coconut Creek in 1967? You could just raise your hand so that we can keep track of answers. How many? 8? Nope.
Count the frames on the wall out that window.
18.
Higher? Close.
32.
Too high.
Got one over here.
Give it another shot. 20.
No, higher. 28. You said 28.
28. There you go. I got it.
He said 28. I was high. So we are honored to have you all here today for this important open forum. Thank you to all of you, or to many of you, for taking this year-long journey with us as we explore topics from public safety to recycling. Your ideas and perspectives can help shape our community's path forward and towards a safer, greener, and more inclusive future. I encourage you to make the most of this opportunity, engage with our experts, and contribute your invaluable insights. We hope that the information gained from this discussion will enhance our future plans and initiatives and help us better serve your needs. Before we get started, I just want to go over a few ground rules to ensure that we maintain a smooth flow of discussion and encourage as much participation as possible. Please limit yourself to one question per resident to allow as many questions or suggestions to be heard. If we get all the way around and you know we still have time, we'll circle back for sure. Wait for the monitor with the microphone to reach you so that we can ensure that everybody hears either your question or your statement. Hold personal or specific questions until the end to speak directly either with staff or with the commission. And let's just treat all of us together, including fellow residents, with respect and courtesy. So we all good with that as we move forward? So with that, I'm going to introduce our panel. We have coming up, we have Scott Stoudemeyer, who is our Director of Sustainable Development. He's a rock star. He's been very busy lately with all of the activity going on in Main Street. We have Wayne Toby, who is our Director of Parks and Recreation. Also also very busy with all of the programming and special events that we have going on. We have Jeff Gary, our fire chief. Another one who's extremely busy, continuing to develop our newly formed fire department. We have Harry Mowdy, who's our director of public works. Another very busy one is responsible for the solid waste activities, as well as all of the capital projects going on in the city. And we have Randall Blanchett. He is the assistant director of utilities and engineering. He's filling in for Samrat Shami, who's the director and currently on vacation, enjoying himself while we are here. And good for him. He deserves a vacation. And then we have Butch Arnell, our chief of police. So with that, we'll just get right into it so that we can get going. Does anybody have any questions for any of the panelists?
Short night.
Well, I saw the question that we asked before, one of them can answer. Right?
Yes.
I was asking more like I don't know who can answer, but I'm thinking like the city don't have like enough resources for the disability.
Okay, so I hear the question is regarding resources for disabilities. Okay, for dealing with young adults with disabilities, that there's a sentiment that we don't have enough programs. Or are there going to be more programs? Is that the question properly? Wayne?
Hello? Hello. Yes, so in Parks and Recreation, we do offer many special needs programs currently. We are going to be doing an agreement with a Friendship Journey, which is going to be doing children and adults. That's going to start probably in October. We're going through that now. We're working through all the different processes to get to that point, but the goal on our side is to start beginning some programming in October.
Okay, anybody else have a question or a comment or anything you'd like to know more about? Roz?
I have several things that I would like to talk about. And, there are many programs in.
Yes, speak into the mic, please.
There are many programs in, Coconut Creek. Okay. Touchline program 211, if you live alone, they will call you to check on you, and it is free on a daily basis. Florida Power and Light, there's something that they are doing that will give a priority to someone who is on oxygen or is disabled if there's a hurricane or a tornado and you need help. There is a priority called Medically Essential Service that can be filled out to send to Florida Power and Light. They will help you. There's a crisis service 211 for special needs, emotional support, housing, and other resources. Aging and disability referral program also is available. Food assistance program is available. Veterans benefit guide if you were in the military. We have some information about that. Goodwill ambassador for Florida, Hollywood International Airport, if you'd like to go to the memorial in Washington, D.C. with a veteran. Scamming target service for seniors. We have information on that. I have it all here. Commissioner Mark Grogan is advertising on TV. If you would like to take hearttest.com and go online, you will be called if you would like to take the heart test. All these things I have information on. If you are interested, I will be glad to distribute it to anybody who wants it.
Thank you, Russ. Okay, anybody else? Next. Any questions for police or for fire, Parks and Recreation? Any comments, any issues that you're experiencing? Any question? Thank you.
I guess my name is Jermaine. My question, I guess, is for the police, the fire chief, in regards to the CERT program with hurricane season coming, just trying to figure out where the status may be with that, given that we may get a hurricane this year?
No, do not say those words, but.
Already too early.
Chief Gary, can you talk about our CERT program, please, and what they need to do to get involved?
Yes, since our presentation, we do have 9 people that expressed interest, so we are working with surrounding cities to come up with a CERT Academy. So if you haven't applied yet, please get with us, or if you know somebody who wants to. Yeah, we want to get that program going in the fall, hopefully before the end of hurricane season, but we're not going to have one this year, just so everybody knows.
Now that's good.
But yes, we did receive 9 applicants, and we are looking to do a program. Hopefully you're one of them. I'll make sure we reach out, and if we can get it sooner, the academy sooner, we will. All right.
Thank you. Next.
Are we having any
Leave the microphone.
Do we have any programs to promote voter registration and to remind the public that they have to re-register for the mail-in ballots, to get the mail-in ballots? We need to promote participation in the voting process.
Yes, absolutely. Our city clerk is very proactive in that arena, and I expect that with the next elections coming up, those kinds of promotions and advertisements will be made. Okay. Sounds good. Sure.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that Wingmore has the supervisor of elections coming once a month in the library. So if any of you need to register or have any needs, please come and see them. And we're actually encouraging other communities to participate with that program.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner. Next.
Hi.
Hi. You're on.
Good evening. I preface by saying I've never been here before, so this is really interesting, so questions or comments. I own a farm on Big Boulder Road, Burskett-Fire Farm, and the equestrian community is really starting to come together and trying to look for a partnership with the city. I don't know if you've noticed, when we purchased the farm 16 months ago, there were over 60 farms in Broward County. We're now down to 30. And we have a small pocket of paradise here in Coconut Creek. I will say that your city is amazing to work with. It's one of the reasons why we chose to come into the community. But we need to do more to protect the area. People use that section back there for drag racing, amongst other things, and we'd like to make it safe both for our horses and for the riders in that community, and to hold on to that space. People come to visit, and I can't tell you how many times I hear, I didn't know this was here. We're this tiny little pocket of farmland, and we really don't want to see that go away. Anything that we can do to help the community and the city to keep that, any information I know, we're already working on some things. But just to give you an idea, again, we've been there for 16 months. We are one of the largest riding lesson programs now in Broward County. We have over 300 students. We work with a number of programs, including veterans, and it's so needed. Every one of our farms is on a wait. They're going away. We've got to hold on to this. We have a beautiful space. Let's keep it that way. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like our Director of Sustainable Development, Scott, to maybe add on to that.
Yes, and it's taken us a little while. We have been working to get some help with a consultant on board to study the whole area holistically, taking a look at everything, but with the equestrian desires in mind. But we're going to take a look at it from every perspective, from the code enforcement issues that are out there, from the traffic issues that are out there, and try to come up with some good, solid ideas on how to develop a vision for the future for the area. And we're not going to do that, in a vacuum. We are going to start with community engagement meetings. We just got the consultant under contract, actually last week. So we're actually going to be out in the field with them over the next couple of weeks, just doing some reconnaissance. And then we will be starting with community engagement meetings. So,
My office is right there.
so we are on it, and we have a plan to move forward.
Thank you, Scott. Anybody else have a question, comment?
Hi, my name is Marcella, and I have an observation and maybe a question in it. Lions Road and Coconut Creek Parkway, which surround Whitmore, and sometimes I walk the area. And I was wondering, does Coconut Creek have a schedule to pick up garbage on the sidewalks and palm fronds that are everywhere?
I will turn that over to our Public Works Director.
All right. Well, there's a normal scheduled garbage collection for the local community. However, we also have our crews that are out there every day. And every day we continue to look for that. All of our staff knows that as they see it, we will pick it up. Or depending on what the objects are, we may make special arrangements. They're very busy areas and they tend to collect trash quite frequently. But all the crew know to stop, pick it up, or call back, and we'll send additional people out.
So if you do see anything and need to have it picked up, please just, there are ways to reach us to do that, so to notify us, to let us know that there are things to be picked up, either through on the website, which is a contact us, and it's a link that you can just enter in whatever the issue is, and then we can respond to it. And then it holds us accountable too, because it's all recorded and time-stamped and all of that. So it measures our response time for dealing with whatever those issues are. So if you see something, please just call it in, or just go on the website and type it in. Okay? Mm-hmm.
Hi, I want to ask about the recycle. The last couple of times I went over there, there wasn't anybody in the little house there. And then the last time the person just said, go ahead. Are we no longer tracking where the recycle is coming from, or what residences they're coming from?
Harry?
We are still tracking. We're in the middle of staff changes. We're finding our last permanent staff member moved on, and we're in the process of hiring. So we're rotating through staff, and sometimes we'll just have to better communicate with them what the requirements are to collect that data. There are occasions too when our device that we're collecting the information is down, and there's also only one person, so they do have to take a break every now and then. But there should be a sign up saying that. And there is a lunch break there, but there should be a sign up saying what those hours are.
Well, best of luck finding somebody. I hope it continues. And one of the comments that I think would be nice when somebody does come in and check in, that whoever that person is just says, thank you for recycling.
Sure.
It just makes you feel better instead of getting your driver's license.
Thank you. Thank you for that feedback.
Hey there, a few months back, during public comment, somebody had submitted an email to be read into record requesting that there be an aquatic facility built in Coconut Creek. Obviously, that would be very expensive and would require land. But I was just wondering, is that on anybody's radar based on that public comment that had been made?
Wayne, would you like to discuss that?
Well, we are doing our Parks Master Plan. We are having a community outreach with our community that's where that can be brought up. But just to let you know, we do have 2 splash pads located throughout the city that we did start. We have one at the community center, and it's on the south end of the city. It's on the corner of Lyons and Coconut Creek Parkway. And then we have one at the recreation complex off of Salt Press Boulevard. That's just behind Fire Station 94. But hopefully that answers your question. It is in our thoughts. We are,
I think that person was looking more for a swimming pool in order for children to be able to have swimming lessons.
So one of the things when we did the Parks and Rec Master Plan, we did reach out and engage the community to, solicit what kinds of amenities that the community would like to see in the city. The swimming pool did come up. It didn't come up as a really high priority, and so, and as you said, it is a very expensive endeavor, and so we're working from a priority perspective in trying to meet the needs that the community is really looking for at this time. Okay, thank you.
Will we, as a city, be doing any community events like picnics
me out to the ballpark. We used to have games, like we go to the Dolphin games or the Marlin games. And the reason why I asked this is I had a friend that recently went to the Marlins game, and she took Brightline. And she said it was fantastic, and they had a bus from the Brightline station, and they took her to the ballpark. And I was wondering, are we going to do, you know, as a city, a community event, whether it's a Dolphin game or Panthers game?
Wayne?
Yes, that's a great thing we do. We used to do that in the past. I think we kind of got sidetracked there with the COVID that had occurred. But definitely, we can definitely bring that back. And that's something that I'll bring back to my staff. There's no reason why we couldn't do that, because obviously our South Florida teams are doing tremendous. And I'm sure we have a good field going around. So yeah, that is something that we can definitely look into and try to set up for.
Thank you for that, Patricia. Next.
Hi. So I have a question about Food Truck Fridays, which I know there's one tomorrow. Love it. My kids love it.
Can you say it 3 times real fast?
Food Truck Friday.
No, fluffies. Gotta add that part in.
I was wondering if there's any way to either assist the food trucks or incentivize them to use something other than styrofoam for the container containers. We generate a lot of trash during those events, and while they're very fun, it would be nice to see if there's anything we can do to make them even a little more sustainable.
Wayne, interest?
Yeah, that is something that we're working on now with our Department of Green Plan. We're with our special events. We do want them to try to be as green as possible, and that is something that we can do and ask them to do. But that is something that we are working on within our Department of Green Plan with our events.
Actually, you passed the sign ordinance, the state passed the sign ordinance, no smoking in parks and the beaches, and we passed it too, but I don't see any signs that, I've been to 3 concerts, everybody's smoking, including parks, so I think we need to do something, please.
Is it in the works?
Yeah, we have in the process now with the signs. We have them. We are beginning to put them up. I want to say we are putting them up right now throughout the parks. We have about 20, 25 signs, and we're going through that process right now, putting those no smoking signs up.
Yeah, people were asking me, so I said, I don't know. That's your commissioner.
Does it include vaping, no smoking or vaping?
I'm not sure. It does. Yes, it does. I'm told it does. Okay. Next.
Hi. I've lived in Coconut Creek since 1970. I've never experienced animals in cages before, day and night, 24 hours a day. Storms, hurricanes, fireworks, and I hear them constantly. I know that there's state laws but there's got to be something that we can do for these dogs.
Anybody want to respond to that?
We have an animal services program, and we have an animal services officer named Jennifer Schaffner. I would appreciate if you would call me and we can connect you on this particular problem. I had not heard about this issue, but we have a very proactive education program called Critters in the Creek, where we try to educate people about cruelty, particularly kids, about animal cruelty and its relation to crime. Also, when it comes to what is a felony, what is a misdemeanor, and how those laws are applied. So I'll be happy to work with you. We can touch base after the meeting.
Okay, thank you. I have another question. Bulk pickup. People are putting their business trash out, and I'm just worried that it's going to make all of ours go up.
Yes, I'll take that one. If our contractor, Republic, suspects or flags business trash, then they will contact us. Then we will work with code enforcement to address the issue.
Scott, did you want to say anything about the dogs related, as it relates to code?
Yeah, we are familiar with that particular issue, and our code compliance team, and I've been included as well. We have had discussions about perhaps creating an ordinance that would be more restrictive than the state, more restrictive than the county. It could be problematic, but we are evaluating it. It's not something that, and you and I have talked before, it's not something that we're ignoring. It may be difficult. it may be difficult to get something on the books that is more restrictive. But it is something we are evaluating with PD and with code.
Thank you.
Do we have a vulnerability in the area of snails and mosquitoes that are coming up with the invasive species? Anybody?
Anybody have an answer for that?
I knew there was a reason why I invited Linda Whitman to attend this evening.
There you go. We have someone who can answer.
So at this time, the snails are not in our area. I happen to be on the FWC webpage 2 weeks ago or so. It's something that I think as a community, there are people that are monitoring that, but the snails are not in our area at this time. As far as the mosquitoes, that's a problem we're all gonna have, and we're gonna have it continuously. I think as long as we continue to monitor bins that collect water in our yards and our plants that collect too much water, some of the bromeliads collect water. If you spray those out and keep those flushed all the time, that'll help with the mosquitoes. Aside from that, there's really not a lot we can do on that.
I was thinking about the malarial threat.
The particular mosquito that has the malaria, or the reason of that? Yeah. Well, again, keeping standing water out of your yard is the best way to deal with that, and keeping, if you're gonna be gone and your pool isn't being maintained for some reason, putting the dunk tablets in to take care of that is also very helpful.
I mean, are we educating?
So mosquito control is handled through Broward County. We don't have a city mosquito control program. And so we can get that information, but we don't really have it right here, right now.
The utilities department does do some mosquito control in the actual stormwater system within the city. But as Karen was saying, Broward County is the primary contact. You can submit a request. They'll come out, they'll actually do an investigation to see how many mosquitoes are in the area, and then they'll provide insecticide to take care of them. But the city does do some level of mosquito control within the stormwater system, just not on private property.
And what I'm hearing you say though is actually getting more information about it and what's happening with that. And we can do that and put that out on our website or push that out to the community. Okay, yeah, thank you.
I would like to know if it's correct that we are really being scammed very badly, and robbery is really at a high rate right now. What can we do about it?
I'll preface that by, when you talk about robbery and crime in general, I just want you to know, Roz, crime is down in the city. From the first half of 2022 and 2023, it's down. And quite frankly, since COVID ended, so our first year of crime stats after COVID, you know, there was a massive drop. And the good news is it has not rebounded. So we've kind of evened out. But for this year, we're looking very, very good. What you're right about is in our total Part A crimes, fraud is up. And so we have actually prepared, at the direction of our commissioners, some fraud awareness and education programs. We have a particular detective named Detective Corey in our investigative unit. This is his specialty. He has gone to Winmore. We offer him out to any area of the city to come and educate and explain to people the different types of scams and the importance of not giving out information over the phone, not believing what you hear over the phone on a targeted call, etc. But all you have to do is call us and we will get the program there. And I did want to make a comment to you, ma'am, on the special needs, particularly for kids. Remember, we have a special needs registry at the police department website or from your AppArmor application on your phone. So if there's a child residing in the city, you can go in that registry, or an adult, quite frankly, for that matter, and register them. So if our officers get a call to service at that location, it automatically flags us that we have a special needs person at the location. It's a very proactive program. I want to remind you of that. Okay.
Yes.
I guess this is for the police commissioner. Is there a program?
Police chief.
Police chief. I gave you a promotion today. Is there a program similar to what is done in other cities with Safety Town for like younger child safety as far as gun control and housing fires, things like that?
It's very apropos that you brought that up. We have been directed by our commission to look into that option. We do not currently have a Safety Town. We know there are some neighboring communities that do, and we are currently examining that option.
It's a very good program.
That's what I hear.
We do provide a lot of the same kinds of services that would be held at a Safety Town, just internally. But we are looking in the budget for next year to consider how to achieve that mission of having programs and a facility, and/or a facility place to do it. We can talk about any of those issues on there. What would you like to?
Okay. In the Turnpike expansion plan, I was most concerned with the date. Next public hearings on this project will be held on September 20th for the virtual hearing and September 21 for the in-person hearing. I want to know more about the in-person hearing, and if you know where it might be, and are we going to have buses, because we have to bombard them. I'm already planning my speech to those yo-yos.
Good. Scott, will you talk to that?
Sure. And unfortunately, we're not sure about the location yet. We were successful in getting it pushed from July 19th and 20th, which I believe is going to be next week, I believe.
While a lot of people are out on vacation in summer, they were, scooting it in there, and we were able to get it pushed to September.
And at that point, it was going to be in a location in the city of Fort Lauderdale, I believe. So all they've done right now is give us the dates for the virtual and the in-person, however, not the location. As soon as we have that information, you'll have that information, trust me. We are going to do a big campaign on this. We are going to promote attendance at this, and we want you there. And yes, buses are something that we are probably going to have for our residents, particularly since it's not going to be in a convenient location for anybody.
Thank you. Anything else on that sheet that you wanted to know about? Okay.
I'm a little worried about the promenade. The mall is really like a good mall for the city. I consider like we especially to buy something online that we generate money to others. I think when we go to that mall, the money stays in the city. That's what I want to think of, right? Now, I know it's coming, the new place, which is a giant chain, the Cheesecake Factory. And I worry more about, how the police department, how in the part of development can control, because I see that's going to be a big, there's going to be more people that are coming from, it's good for the city, but it's coming more people from Boca, Coral Springs, Pompano, and how you can control that. I don't know if you have any statistics or estimate based on that kind of infrastructure for the community.
I think I understand what you're asking, and unfortunately, there really is no way to control. Cheesecake Factory is going to be a regional draw. Cooper's Hawk is a regional draw. It is obviously most convenient to our restaurants, to our residents. However, there really isn't anything. It's going to serve who it's going to serve, and if that makes sense. We did do a lot of review with the Cheesecake Factory when it came in. We really looked at the promenade holistically with regards to parking and traffic circulation, and we do believe that we've done a good job making sure that when it's all done, right now it is a mess. I've been up there, it's a mess, but when it's all done, that our residents will get in and out safely and securely. We had conversations during the approvals about additional security that the promenade would be having. So I think when things are done, it's going to be a safe and a nice place to be. but it is going to be welcoming residents from outside the city, no doubt about it.
One of the other things that we are partnering with the Promenade to encourage people to ride our bus. You know, we have the bus that goes up and down Lions Road for free. And so for those where that's convenient for, we would encourage our residents not only from a green perspective of taking cars off the road, but from a convenience perspective for the residents who live nearby. Because, you know, we always hear about the parking issues and then, you know, and with more parking coming on. So those who live here nearby, you know, we encourage our residents to actually use our transportation system to get there and back.
On that note, I'm not quite sure this is a correct form for that, but if anyone's monitoring it while the construction is going on, if you pull in the DSW pen and you head north along the front, you now come to a dead end and there's no signage, and the only way to get out is to back your car up.
I see. We take note of that.
Taking note.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hey there, circling back to what Nancy asked earlier about the Friday food trucks. I just wanted to let everybody in this room know that if you know anybody who owns a business or a government entity where there might be, sorry I have to say it, single-use plastic, the City of Hollywood on Monday evening, July 24th, is hosting a Sustainable Product Expo, where they're going to have highlighted various different products that can replace single-use plastic, replace EPS foam. And it is limited, I wanted to go, but it's limited to businesses and governments. That's what they're trying to get in there. And I have the website for you guys to register, because they're gonna have food, they wanna know how many people to order for. But we encourage all you guys, if you can make it down to Hollywood at 5 o'clock in the evening to attend, that would be great.
Great, thank you for that information. Thanks.
I wanted to find out, this is my second ambassador meeting. I wanted to find out, are there plans or is there any direction that's really in place as far as for trying to engage diversity in the community, as far as for platforms like this, getting the younger community informed and active with social matters like this?
Yes. Yvonne, would you like to speak to that?
I would like to say special, I'd like to salute both of the organizations that higher up the chief, both chiefs. The United staff has been phenomenal with responding to calls and treating the matters fairly. Had 3 calls on myself so far, and it's been a great experience. As far as the youth being involved, we are, I think we all, our time is not expired, so we all are young, we all are here. I just gave a compliment to everyone here, by the way.
All right, thank you. We do have a program called Unity in Our Community here in the city, and we look at every one of our programs through that lens. And any kind of feedback or input that you could provide us that would help further that endeavor, we would love to hear from. And if we can make that a future topic for the ambassador program, that would be great. So, you know, please after the program, if you could, you know, give us your ideas and thoughts, that would be great. Okay.
Also like to wrap up and say thank you to the staff, overnight staff. They responded very quick, very safe protocol, as far as fire response as well. I do have a question about the sewer system, because I do know we do have air quality control that we do everything from the waste management department that kind of handles that part. But I would like to know what happens with the sewer system. We have anything that happens with the sewer system where insects are coming inside the home, can we have some type of information about how that is being handled at the moment?
Absolutely. We can, we have Randall here who works in our utilities department who can speak to wastewater in the city.
Thank you for asking that question. We don't currently have a program to restrict insect movement within the sewer system. But you did make a comment about air quality control. We do have a very good system in place at a lot of our wastewater lift stations that actually help purge a lot of the air to make it a lot cleaner around those lift stations. So we do work towards those types of environmental factors.
Thank you. Anybody next?
Not a question or an observation. The staff and managers that put together the car show down at the Recreation Center at the beginning of the month. Very well organized, well run. It was immaculate. Had employees out there picking things up. Had law enforcement directing traffic because it's a tricky corner. Having a crowd coming in. It's very well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the positive feedback. Anyone else? Wow, we're really all doing our jobs, huh? Questions, comments, concerns? City services? All right. Do we want to wrap this up? And this will give you time to speak to any of our commissioners individually if you would like. Oh, we have one more.
I know earlier someone had said about staying after for another meeting or something like that. Is that public information that you can come to these types of meetings to become more informed? And if so, where is that being put so that people like myself, if I do want to come in and sit in on public meetings to find out things, how do we find out about them?
Okay, well, you know I can answer that one. So we have commission meetings on the second and fourth Thursday of every month. And so that is where the commission will go through the agenda and approve items that are on the agenda. So we do have a meeting tonight. The mayor was referring to it. It is really going to be kind of a long meeting tonight because on tonight's agenda is a development project at the corner of Lyons Road and Atlantic. And that developer is going to be giving a presentation tonight to get approvals to build that project. And currently there is some controversy from the public on it not necessarily wanting it in that area. So that's one of the hot topics for tonight's commission meeting. On our website, we have all of the agendas and the meetings reported on there. And before every meeting, we will send out, if you are signed up for our COCOgram, which is an e-newsletter, it has agenda highlights so that you can see what's coming up on the next meeting. Because we'll highlight the bigger issues that are going to be on the agenda for that upcoming meeting. And so absolutely being signed up for COCOgram is a way to get news. And we put everything on our website. And on the front page of our website are really all of the up and coming things. So that would be the way to get your information.
And social media.
And social media. We are on social media. Thank you, Yvonne. No, second and fourth Thursday of every month. Let me just qualify that. They do take a summer break. So we have a meeting tonight. We will not have another commission meeting until August 24th because the second meeting in July and the first meeting in August have been canceled due to that summer break. Okay? Great.
Just a reminder that if anybody wants any of these brochures and needs help with a resident in their area, come and see me after the meeting.
Yeah.
I have plenty of them.
Okay. All All right, so one more chance. Anybody have a question or a comment?
Do we have an update on this vulnerability assessment about topographic information, flood?
That is what Scott was referring to. Did you speak to that? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll let Linda can actually, since she came, we might as well have her.
So, ironically, we just had our third steering committee meeting yesterday on the vulnerability assessment. We're still collecting data. We're still bringing that data to the steering committee for their input and as a part of looking at priorities in the city. We will be going to a fourth steering committee meeting, which is made up of the people from each of the departments in the city. And we're going to then take the information that we have and get it into a format so that we can take it out to the public. That should be, I'm thinking, early to mid-September. We're going to go out to the public with this, with draft information so that we can share it with the community, let you know what our findings are, the areas of concern, and get your input to see if we have missed something important or if there's something that, that you've thought of that we didn't highlight well enough. So that's going to happen, and you'll see it on social media. We're going to post it there. So be on the lookout early to mid-September for a little bit of an update on that for the draft. And then once we get through that process, we'll be taking that draft officially to the commission for their input at that level, and then we'll wrap that up after that. And again, the point of all of that is to identify priority items in the city that need to be somewhere put into the budget, to the CIP process for mitigation purposes and to get grants to work on those projects.
Okay. Well, with that, I'd like to thank all of you for participating in tonight's open forum. By coming together, we have taken an important step towards building a stronger connection between residents and the city staff. Your feedback is invaluable in shaping the future of our city and the Ambassador Program. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the City Commission for being here, the panelists, and staff in general. So let's carry forward the conversations we started today, staying engaged in local issues and reaching out to us with any questions, comments, or concerns. And I just want to note that we won't be having a September Ambassador Program because it would be the same night as our budget hearing. So I invite you to come to the budget hearing if you would like. It is where the commission approves the budget for next year. Our budget goes from October 1st to September 30th, so that's why we do it in September. However, I will say that by the time it gets to that point of the budget hearing, the budget is really done and complete. So if there's anything you want to see or anything you would like addressed in the budget, please see us as soon as possible. We are wrapping up balancing the budget now in order to give it to the proposed budget to the City Commission by August 1st. And with that, thank you so much for being here.